Bruh. Excuse me. Yeah, even Ouchie's like, what the fuck, man? You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. You tell him. You tell him, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? It's a baby. Oh no. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Oh. Shit, he broke his spine, he's dead. Ido, what have you done? Oh. Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. Preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Ido's cute. Oh, he's happy again. Stop! Don't! Stop doing that. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages in the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. Hang on, what year is this again? And I heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living. Yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do a reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chomping down my way through a good steak at the same time. I mean, it sounds nice, I guess. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork, even, which is worryingly believable. And the target that day was the old man and his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang. Honestly, I feel like this is way more than Yanni Yogi CG. We've seen this bullet wound chest. Dr. Wilson. I knew if the police conducted a search and found my coin in the pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the steak. Hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Rendezvous. Sorry. Man, that's fucked up. Yeah, everyone's just like, what? This is ridiculous. Perhaps you can carry on with your absurd prattling in your own time? Well, Miss Brett? Oh, of course, dear lady, of course! How rude of us! I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. T-pose. Maybe esteemed gentlewoman, please be excused, Your Excellency! Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. No, it's not! Hello? Hello, Waka Waka! Think a little. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such ideas astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well... And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Sorry. Miss Brett, you are now free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day. A fucking face. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. This is no time to look at the camera with that goofy-ass face. No, sorry. Something about Mrs. Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. Kazuma really said, object now, think later. I can respect that. Wait, Miss Brett! What is what is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? Yeah. What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Also, sorry, I dipped my phone. my hand is numb. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I feel like there's a better way to execute this in terms of like gameplay, because it's kind of jarring. Because you're like, yeah, then clearly it's the wrong fucking beefsteak. It's wrong plate. Show us her plate, Kusunaga. Goodness gracious. Take that. The steak that Miss Brett was eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. Sorry. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. Gasp. I see you've noticed too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. I said fork in a weird way. Of course she did! She's a refined English gentlewoman herself! Then take a good look at this steak! In particular, the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Oh! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. It took you this long? So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously... Oh, she's wet. Whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, this will be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave... Oh. Quack! I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Wow, she called him a fossil. Of course, dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Oh, that's a good one. Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? I mean, I do, but at the same time, the game phrases it in a weird way, so not really. Yes, now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. It's the wrong steak. Just say it. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here, I said barbaric really weird, amounts to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that would prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Shut up! Quack! Conclusive evidence. How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't even know the meaning of the phrase. Typical empty Japanese threats. Wow. How can you be so sure? It's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been... what? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist. I was very torn between doesn't and does not. This is absurd! The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be! I don't believe you have it! You know what? Yeah, it's been running pretty late. I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit that piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Yeah, and then they're gonna have us... Who is it, counsel? I feel like... yeah, this could be... I don't know, shortened. Okay. This is like my only gripe, I think, with the entire game, especially the first one. The first case is a bog. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No. I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks. Yes? Even the judge is like, uh-huh. Now, early in the afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. As well as admitting to stealing Korekta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it on the steak. Also, all of these repetitions, honestly, it really helps for English practice, I gotta say. It's kind of like with Detective Conan. They have, like, flashbacks, and you're like, oh, okay. It kind of registers in your mind. It's really good. It's also why I like reading it like this. Anyway, was the steak you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention! Affirmative. Of course, I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still... I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. Very good use of manhandling. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nose's meal. But that makes no sense! That plate was taken from the victim's table! Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. I feel like Rinosuke is sounding very different now, I'm so sorry. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest a thing would be affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly! Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two states over? Oh no, we're going ellipsis hell. Even Ido is shook. Come on, say something. Somebody say something. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, the, bang. Yeah, this fucking CG. There's at least like 8 times it's appeared now. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and put the coin in there. But when the waiter announced that there was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders if he decided to investigate my meat. So when the cadet here was arrested to be taken to the kitchen, I seized my chance. No, don't put back item. God damn it.